Welcome to my lovely apartment we have here, and an interesting episode of my math autobiography, where I am today with my math. So, taking this class, obviously I'm a guy, it's a little bit different, a little bit of early education for me. It's going to be interesting for myself, needless to say. But starting off, how I feel about math is probably one of my favorite subjects. My grandmother's an English teacher, and don't get me wrong, I love some English, but I'm not the best. And she kind of drilled that one down my throat, so I just went with math, which felt like the opposite of English. Haven't really changed over time. I mean, taken several math classes here at the university, and scored highly in each. But when I was in elementary school, I greatly liked it. I know, 5th grade, we had to do projects every week. Each one, had to do an actual item to go with it, and one that stuck out the most was doing the golden rectangle and Fibonacci, and actually made a sheet cake that was proportionate to what we were going with, and Fibonacci sequence of numbers, and just the fact that I could compare what was going on in class to a real life thing in cake. 'Cause who doesn't like cake? Come on, let's be real. And just the way that teacher just opened up the math world and made it exciting is just a great and fantastic influence. And one reason I kind of want to teach early childhood, because I want to be somewhat like them, make math interesting. In a math classroom, making it exciting and interesting, make it something you really care and want to see about every day. So I love, beyond belief, dinosaurs. So needless to say, I would have dinosaurs all over the place. It would be maybe up on the walls, posters. I mean, I don't have every single dinosaur in my apartment for nothing. They would just be decorating. You got 1 pterodactyl, 2 brontosauruses, 3 triceratops, just different things like that if you're in a kindergarten style class. But just kind of, dinosaurs all over the place on the walls, and just maybe introduction to some of the years, because years, time span, that does a little bit with math, obviously. My math learning supported at home would come from my grandmother. Even though I said she was an English teacher, she taught me how to bake. And we do this thing called Cookie Weekend, where we make 17,000 cookies between a Friday and a Sunday. And needless to say, there's a lot of fractions involved. You got to have 3/4 cups of sugar to go with your ½ cup of flour to mix with your 2 tablespoons of salt. However, you got to, compute it all together to figure out if you're going to make 15 batches and you want to mix it all together at once. So, working with fractions and everything there, and they definitely supported me in my home. What my teachers did do to connect mathematics to the way I was at home is they would always find ways to relate it. Being on a soccer field versus being a ballet person, I wouldn't be able to, relate ballet with math like someone that could relate soccer. So they would kind of relate something to my experience. So they would talk about the number of soccer players on a field. But if it was a student that was in dance, they'd say, how many dance steps would it be in your ballet? And I think, just looking at the way each student in my school was able to be impacted on that would definitely help their experience. Now, ways they didn't really connect, areas that we would struggle in, I feel they would just kind of move on. And hopefully the new topics would be taught to us through gaining of knowledge and maybe picking it up in a little bit harder situation. But overall, my experiences and feelings towards math, teachers, and the kind of teacher I want to be, I want to be a solid math teacher, if anything. And I want the kids to recognize that math can be fun, math's supposed to be fun, but at the same time, it'll have real-world applications, where it's not just they're learning how to do this today in class so they can pass a test, that they can use it as a beneficial and apply it to what's going to happen in their lives later.